Georgia.
Georgia.
Welcome to Made to Create.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. Our pleasure. Very
Beautiful
excited.
Studio.
I know Ella, intern's a big fan, so she's been looking for.
Thank you.
She actually got off work just to come and meet you.
She works at Zambrero when she's not here.
Nice.
So she's got off. So very exciting. I'm very keen to explore your journey just because you've got like a bit of a longer journey from content creation. Most of the TikTok creators we meet are like they started a year and a half ago.
I hit 1 million and like people were like, it's about time.
Yeah.
Like it only took you 8 years, and I was like, let me have this one.
Yeah.
Just let me have it.
I'll let you have it because that's a huge accomplishment.
It's a very unique journey, and I think it's super valuable to unpack because there's obviously everyone wants to be a content creator now. It's like the most desired job. And
to be fair, you hitting 1 million, if you were in America, it probably would have been like within the first 3 years.
I know.
That's like, we're very
They don't
handicapped over here.
push Australian content on YouTube
Shocking.
in America.
Yeah, because I was looking at like all the biggest Australian creators and it's like.
Have you ever thought about making the move?
Oh, yeah,
No.
true.
No?
No.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
I don't, yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Sensitive topic.
It's like, how do you... Yeah,
Sure.
I like Australia a lot.
Absolutely. Why not? Why wouldn't you? So I'd like to talk about why you started.
Okay.
You were 14 when you first posted on YouTube?
13.
Okay.
I think, yeah, and 13, 14.
Yep.
And it was just, I was just mucking around in my nan's car, and it was just this video that for some reason I remember seeing someone back in the day. Her name was Bryony, and she had a channel called Teenage Crime 3. I don't know if anyone remembers her. She did this video and she called it Car Vlog, and it was just like her mucking around the car, and I was like, I'm going to do that. That looks funny. Oh, goodness.
So we've got the video here. We'll just play a couple seconds of it just so people have context.
Okay.
But this is your first YouTube upload at age 13.
The music.
I've always wanted to do a car vlog, so that's what I'm going to do.
audio.
You know, I'm in a car, you know, like one of those cars where you go down, get your milk from the shops or something.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really bored and I have no idea what to do.
Very nice.
But you're already doing like jump cuts.
I
You're
was just
already
thinking, this
like,
is classic. When's this? What year?
2013.
That's classic 2013 content. Like the jump cut.
cuts.
Yeah.
It was very O2L. Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't really know why I did it. I think I just wanted to, I was bored and I had a camera, and my school, I was given, you know, those old MacBooks that are like, branding.
No. Just it pulled the focus of the camera.
You're like, can't have the branding.
Yeah.
written up. I basically just, we had these old MacBooks in year 7 and 8. And I don't know if you remember them, the really fat white ones.
Yes. No,
That weighed like more than me in year 7.
They're like power books or something.
They were just ridiculously big. And I remember like my school bag was that heavy. Like if someone, like a light breeze would like, topple me over with this MacBook.
The MacBook, the heavy kid. It's like when you see a kid and they're like leaning forward.
Yes.
Because they've got like counteract the weights.
I'm convinced that that's the reason I have bad posture. Stunted at a young age.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were given these MacBooks, and I found this thing on it called iMovie, like iMovie 11 back in 2012, 2013.
Yep.
And I don't know if you guys remember or you played around with iMovie
I
much,
did. At about almost the exact same time as you.
do you remember you could make trailers?
Yes. Oh,
Your own
I had
trailers?
Dempsey's Productions.
Yes.
Oh, well, Georgia Productions. I had like the trailers.
That's where it came from.
They were like the presets, and it
Yeah.
had the epic music, and you could just plug it in, and they look so sick.
You could just kind of shoot whatever you want, and it would just make a trailer for
Yeah,
you.
it was so good.
It looks hilarious because it was like I used my webcam to record most of it, so it was just this shitty footage with like with these like really, I don't know, cool at the time transitions. But
and it had like the opening, like the logo of a film company, and it like
Yes.
replaced it with your name. It would like fly in 3D models, and you're
and
like,
I was like, this is the coolest
Yeah,
thing.
so was I.
I'm gonna show someone at school, like, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, I made this all myself. Like, did the graphics and everything.
Yeah.
But that's where Georgia Productions came from, because I had to write something in the second little box, and I was like, Georgia Productions, and then I stuck it on the end of a YouTube video, that car vlog, and then I was like, oh, I've got to name a channel something. I'll just call it that. And yeah, that's.
and the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you obviously posted this on YouTube at that time. Any reception? Because right now it's got 1 million views, but I'm guessing that's
Holy
retrospectively.
shit, it's 1 million views.
Yeah.
Well, it only took 8 years.
Yeah.
No, it didn't really. It was just the reason I uploaded I've told this story a few times. The reason I uploaded it to YouTube, I actually had no interest in social media, YouTube. I was the type of kid that didn't get like Facebook till I was 15. Like I just wasn't interested. And it was actually my principal that watched my videos because my teacher was like, Georgia makes these videos and they're really funny. Do you want to see them? And my middle school principal, Graham, shout out to Graham, he was like, these are really funny, Georgia. You should like keep making them and put them on YouTube. And I was like, what's YouTube? Like, what's that? And he was like, oh, you can share it and, you know, you'll get views and people like can watch it. And at first my mum and dad were like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, you know, stranger danger, don't want any of that.
Yeah, right.
But I convinced them and lucky I did.
That is a fair criticism at 13 years old.
Yeah, true.
To be putting out content. Like it's a very, very young age to
It
be putting
is.
out content.
Shout out Mr. Graham, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Graham Evans.
Yeah.
And then that's where it started. But yeah, no, it did not take off straight away. It was just more like a little thing that I'd be like, guys, I uploaded a video. So it started to be me making a video over the weekend and my friends would be like, do you have a video to show us? And then it went from that to you can just watch them on YouTube. And then I started getting like clocking over a few more views. And then by a year 12, it was turning into a full-time job.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I have an example of your editing, which I don't know how old you are at this point, but
Who are you watching? Because that's a very specific like style. You must have been watching someone to like adopt that style of like the jump cuts, or was it just purely you?
I was watching. Oh,
no. Keep going.
I was watching at the time. Do you remember Jamie's World?
Yeah, I mean, I remember
In 2012.
the big hitters. Like for me, like, did you watch Freddie W?
No.
Yeah, so we're in different worlds. But you watched
Yeah.
them, right? Yeah, he made all like these CG like fight scenes and stuff. Because I made like lightsaber battles and gunfights with my
no,
siblings.
I used to watch that kind of thing on YouTube, and I loved
Smosh?
no.
Oh my god.
No. No, I used to love watching those, like how to edit this, how to edit that. I was a bit of a nerd actually. I went from like kind of trying to do a bit of comedy and then I dipped my toe in like special effects editing and I really liked it, but it just didn't perform well and took way too much time.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and it's just something that was a little, it was a phase.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you about this video because I watched this video and I was like, oh my God, you're genuinely brilliant at editing. It was this a war with my twin.
Yes. Yeah, this is 2014.
So I'll just play a little bit of it. But your twin, your reflection jumps out of the mirror, and then you guys have
a fight,
and it's like all over the house.
Yeah,
you guys are in the same shot, like running after each other.
This means war.
That's good audio.
terrible acting.
But like to give you credit, like this is really impressive. How old are you here?
15. Yeah.
So how long is this taking?
That took like a few days to film, and that scene there, I had to get my dad to pour a bucket of water on me, and then I somehow tried to make it look like
Stitched
a seamless. Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a tripod, you could just make a cut. Yeah.
But there was the second one I did, there was this like scene with this like water bubble, and I remember it taking forever because I looked up so many tutorials.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of what was like a downer is my like showing my mum being like I made that. Like, and she's like, so did you download that? Like, how was that a green screen? And I'm like, no, it took maybe 18 hours, like frame by frame, but it's fine, Mum. So I think that's why I kind of stopped because it just, I don't know, it stopped being enjoyable.
Right. But it's, are you starting to get views at this point or again? Yeah.
I think around like 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
2,000 views?
Yeah, and I was proud of that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's hit 2,000. It's got the comma.
It's got the comma. Yeah.
So at that point, are you starting to feel like pressure of having to live up to the expectations that you're setting for yourself, or is it still all just fun? You're just like posting for the sake of...
No, I was just posting for the sake of, like, it was just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Like, because I was 15, I was still at school. I still had homework to do. That was just my spare time. But then people started to be like, when's your next video? Why haven't you uploaded? And I'm like, I'm still in school. And then I think that's when I realized people are coming back and wanting to see more or checking if I've uploaded again. So I think that's when I started to realize like I could build an audience.
And did you have like people like talking shit about you this time, or did you have it, or was it just like
yeah, of course.
you did, yeah, or was it just like, oh, that's so embarrassing for Georgia or whatever, or was
Yeah.
it just all good?
No, of course.
Okay,
I think everyone cops their fair share of a bit of, you know, I wouldn't call it bullying. I think I was just picked on. But like it was easy to pick on me. But at the same time, I was oblivious to when people were meaning it in a good way or a bad way.
Right.
So like a boy would come to school and be like, I watched your video on the weekend. Like all like snarky as if like I watched your video, like that thing that you were trying to hide. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Thank you. Like, did you give it a like?
Yeah.
Like I just didn't gather that like people were talking shit about me and because it was different and but people started to get annoyed because I would want to show my friends videos and they'd be like, oh, she wants to show me another video again. And then I realized I was like, this is my hobby and maybe people don't want to like, you know, I can't force people to watch it if they don't want to but I did get picked on.
And I mean, were you consciously aware you're getting picked on? Did it bother you, or were you just kind of like, I enjoy doing it, I'm going to keep doing it?
It didn't really bother me. It was mainly just boys in the year just calling me Productions or Produce. That was my nickname.
Classy.
Produce. But then
Produce.
But it kind of stuck and then the girls started calling me Produce.
Great.
And then it just shortened to Proj.
Oh,
So like
Proj.
yeah, so I was Georgia Produce or just Produce was something that people just called me, and I actually found it funny, so I went along with it because you know if you go, don't call me that, they're just
they do it more. Yeah.
But then on the back of my school jersey in year 12, I got Productions. So yeah,
That's cute.
Nice. Own it.
Nice.
And you had a viral YouTube video, which is still the most viewed on YouTube at 6.5 million views. And it's the...
Do you know what it is?
Oh,
Whoa, what is it?
oh, it's a straight up copy of Liza Koshy's video. That's what it is.
The playground video.
Oh.
The monkey bars seem like the biggest death-defying
I was 16 in
drop-down.
So you're still in school?
It was a struggle
Yeah.
just to reach.
This
the
is
monkey
where
bar,
I
but now
started
it's a struggle
to
just to keep
not
your
wanna
feet
be
off the
me.
ground.
That's some great lighting.
It was good
And you'll
lighting.
use
That's very good
all
lighting.
your energy just
So there are no comments on this video, probably for very good reason.
Oh no. YouTube took them down because I was a minor in the video.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Interesting.
There was thousands.
Yeah.
And then they realized she's 16 and this can't have that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, sorry. I was going to say you posted it during school, which is
yeah.
brave.
For what it was, yeah, it was
Right.
brave. And I look back at that and I'm like, I should have got bullied so much more than I did. Like that video makes me cringe so much, and because it was a straight up copy of Liza Koshy's. She did this video back in like 2016 when she was like 19, I think, and it was just her mucking around in the playground, and there was plenty of lines in that where I like fabricated, made it original, totally stole her idea, and then but I think I was also trying too hard at that point. That's the era where I'm just cringe. It's like, sure, my little 13-year-old self, that's cute, whatever, but this is like the cringy era where like that's just slapstick comedy for children. Do you know what I mean? And then I started to realize that, and I started to hate it because it was all these like little kids being like, I watched your playground video. Or sometimes kids will come up to me in the supermarket and only know me from that video.
Still.
And you know, it's one of those things that you got to swallow your pride because like you can't. How do you argue with a 6-year-old? Like that was years ago. Come back in a few years when you're older. Like, do you know, like, it's like, how do you,
a civil
like,
argument.
I'm 23 now,
Yeah.
and apparently I look the same and I'm still recognizable from that video. But yeah, that was a really cringy era. I don't like that video.
It's so savage though, because like I copied so many. I was copying so many free in Smosh videos. I was like making verbatim. Just like, remember that Pokemon video they had? It was like Pokemon in real life. Like I copied that, and it was just. I guess I just didn't put it out there, so I didn't get roasted. But like, it's not like you're
roasted for that.
It's not like you're intentionally trying to steal someone's content. Well, when you're that age, that's how you start your creative process.
I
you
guess
just,
so, but
It's like doing covers if you're a musician.
Yeah.
I think like there's a few jokes in there that are still good. Like they're written well, but the delivery is way too over the top. I thought that pulling faces and being loud was funny. It's just not funny. You know what I mean? Like, sure, if you want to entertain a 7-year-old,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I
But
mean, there's a lot of money in entertaining 7-year-olds.
I learnt that.
Yeah.
Because that's still getting me money to this day.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's a cringy one. The lighting was beautiful.
It was great lighting.
But
And
no
how
regrets?
did you deal with that? Getting like at 16, getting all these comments and like having thousands of people like, you know.
I think at the time people were like, "This reminds me of Liza. You remind me of Liza," and I loved that. I was like, yes, like because I looked up to her. She was my like favorite person to watch, and I genuinely idolized her. So it was really like I loved it, but then I started to realize that people are only saying that because I'm reminding them of someone else, and that they're not saying like I love your personality. And then I started to realize, holy shit, like I'm just putting this act on, and you know, being over the top. And I remember having like I would take so many takes of saying the same thing because I was like, no, that didn't feel right. I've got to say it again, and I got to deliver that word that way. Okay, yeah, that was funny. Like I would just like stand there for hours, like just trying to perfect these videos.
Yeah. But
yeah, I did get picked on for that one at school.
because we
Little
talk to a lot
produce.
of people who have blown up recently, us included, more so on TikTok. I say blown up within reason, but like had their viral videos and their first experiences of like getting comments and stuff through TikTok. Most of them are adults. In fact, all of them have been adults when that happens to them. What's it like going through that in high school?
I think there was definitely people that got jealous of it and didn't want me to have that success or tried to downplay it. Like would say things like, yeah, but it's all 7-year-olds, you know that. Or just like if I hit a certain number, like no one really celebrated it. I remember thinking like maybe one day in the common room when I hit like 200K or something, they'll have a cake for me, or like at least my friends, like my group of friends, or they congratulate me. But people stopped caring the more I got into it. And I think it was mainly because they were just overhearing about it. And I think what started to get a bit annoying was the younger kids in middle school, when I was in senior school, would like, you know, come up to me in the playground like, Georgia Productions, and then like scream and stuff. And it made me feel really, really like icky because I was like, I'm at school.
And you're trying to be cool.
And I know your names. I've seen you like yesterday actually. Like what? Yeah, no, it's just, and I'm trying to be cool. And it's just like, but then I think my friends started to think that I liked that attention and like, oh, she's so up herself. And
Yeah.
but
It's classic Australia though. It's like, and how do you celebrate, unless someone throws a celebration for your followers, it's hard to celebrate your own. You look so wanky.
yeah, I'm like, guys, I hit 200K. We don't care. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, how do you kind of need a friend to do it on your behalf. There's classic Australian culture where it's just like very tall poppy syndrome. And
Yes.
like all the creators we know, I've never celebrated a goal
Yeah.
of like when I hit it. So I hit 1 million followers like 6 months ago and I didn't tell anyone because I was like, what do I say? Everyone's like, shut up.
Just
shut the
cried
fuck
in
up,
your
Aaron.
bed alone.
It's like, you wanker. Yeah, it's just like, you know, no one cares. But even though it should
Get
be
a party
celebrated.
popper, okay.
Yeah. It's just like, it's classic Australian. Like once you start to get some success, they kind of do anything you can. Oh, they're just 7-year-olds though. Like no one's really
Yeah.
actually watching you.
Yeah.
And it's just like a very crappy space to be in.
Yeah, I do remember that. I just remember feeling like my friends stopped taking me more seriously because I was getting success. And they, there was a few people that really like encouraged me and were really nice about it. But yeah, it got to a point where like people were more annoyed at the things I was achieving out of school because I wasn't good at school. So it was kind of like, she's cheating the system. Like she's terrible at school, but how is she,
You're not going to
how
make a
is she getting
career
a
out of
book
this.
deal? And I remember when I got a book deal, and this was like end of year 12, like I was 17, 18, just turning 18. I got a book deal with Penguin to make the Amazingly Disorganized Help Dictionary that's still in some stores today. And it sold 40,000 copies around Australia, which is insane. And I went on this huge tour, I don't know, what would you call it, a book tour around Australia, and walked into a shopping centre and was like maybe expecting 50 people to show up. And it was thousands of people in a shopping centre, and I was 18 and overwhelmed. It was understaffed, under security. Like it was ridiculous. Like it was so full on, and I was like, holy shit, like, and this is all, I did this all for free, like, and I stood up for 7 hours meeting 2,000 people in, I think it was Brisbane, was like the biggest, and then Newcastle, like there was at least 1,000 at each city, and I got sick afterwards. I had tonsils